Real Estate News Update, February 16th, 2026. Disclaimer: this is not legal, medical, financial, or official advice. News is news, not legal, financial, or medical advice. Do not treat the following or any anecdotal stories as advice. Always consult qualified professionals for your personal situation. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Real estate markets involve risk. Markets closed for President's Day, REITs and mortgage bonds quiet. U.S. financial markets, including major exchanges where real estate investment trusts, REITs, trade, were closed Monday, February 16, 2026, for President's Day. Mortgage-backed securities, MBS, markets also observed the holiday. Futures on the broader indices were mixed overnight, with little direct impact on real estate-specific assets. The sector enters the week following a modest pullback. The FTSE Nareit All Equity REITs Index fell 2.1% last week, underperforming the broader S&P 500's 1.4% decline. Year-to-date, however, REITs remain up 4.8%, driven primarily by industrial, data center, and residential subsectors, while office and traditional retail continue to lag. Sentiment remains cautiously optimistic. The 10-year Treasury yield closed Friday at 4.72%, down 18 bps week over week, supporting mortgage rates that have trended lower amid rising Fed cut expectations. Analysts note persistent affordability challenges, but see potential tailwinds from expected monetary easing and resilient job growth. January existing home sales rise modestly. Inventory climbs to highest since 2020. The National Association of Realtors, NAR, released January existing home sales data on February 13th, showing a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 4.18 million units, up 2.9% month-over-month and the strongest pace since August 2025. This beat consensus expectations of 4.05 million. Key highlights: median existing home price, $389,800, up 4.2% year-over-year, but the slowest annual pace in 18 months. Inventory, 1.07 million homes for sale, plus 7.2% MOM, plus 16% YOY, the highest level since May 2020. Month supply, 3.1 months, up from 2.8 in December, moving closer to a balanced market. 4 to 6 months is considered neutral. NAR chief economist Lawrence Yun cited improving inventory and slightly lower mortgage rates as drivers, though affordability remains strained. First-time buyers represented just 26% of transactions, near historic lows, as high prices and insurance costs continue to sideline younger demographics. New home sales and housing starts data due this week are expected to show continued builder strength, supported by lower rates and incentives. Mortgage rates dip below 6.8%. Refinance activity surges. Freddie Mac's primary mortgage market survey, released February 13th, showed the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage at 6.77%, down from 6.89% the prior week and the lowest since November 2025. Refinance applications jumped 18% week over week, MBA data, the highest level in 4 months, as homeowners locked in savings. Purchase applications rose a more modest 4%. With CME FedWatch pricing 83% odds of a June rate cut, analysts forecast 30-year rates could test the mid-6% range by mid-year if inflation continues cooling. Regional variation persists. California and Florida see rates closer to 6.9 to 7.1% due to higher insurance premiums and property taxes, while Midwest markets benefit from lower costs. Commercial real estate. Office distress continues. Data centers boom. Office vacancy rates hit a record 19.8% nationally, Q4 2025 Moody's data, with delinquency rates on office-backed CMBS loans climbing to 8.9%. Major markets like San Francisco, 24% plus vacancy, and Houston face ongoing distress, though conversion to residential projects gained traction in New York and Chicago. In contrast, industrial and data center REITs remain the standout performers. Demand for hyperscale facilities. driven by AI infrastructure build-out, pushed industrial vacancy to a historic low of 4.2%. Prologis and Digital Realty both traded near 52-week highs last week. Multifamily rents grew just 0.8% YOY nationally, RealPage, with Sunbelt oversupply, Austin, Phoenix, showing flat to negative growth, while Northeast markets, Boston, NYC, posted 3 to 5% gains. Policy and regulatory developments. The Trump administration continued its housing-focused rhetoric, with HUD Secretary nominee, awaiting confirmation, emphasizing deregulation of zoning and permitting to boost supply. A proposed executive order targeting NIMBY barriers is reportedly in draft stages. Separately, the FHFA extended the 2026 multifamily lending caps for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac at current levels, signaling continued support for rental housing amid affordability concerns. Insurance challenges persist. Florida's average homeowner's policy now exceeds $6,000 annually, pushing some buyers toward newer, resilient builds. PropTech and investment highlights. Zillow's January market report noted a 12% increase in for sale listings YOY, the largest since 2019. Redfin reported 22% of listings took price cuts in January, highest winter level on record. Notable transactions. Blackstone closed a $2.8 billion acquisition of a national industrial portfolio. A major data center joint venture between Equinix and sovereign funds was announced. Startup funding. PropTech saw $420 million in January venture deals, led by AI-driven valuation and inspection platforms. Bottom line for February 16, 2026. The housing market shows early signs of thawing with rising inventory and modestly lower rates, offering hope for spring buying season. Commercial remains bifurcated, office struggles, while AI-driven industrial/data center demand surges. Affordability and insurance costs remain the biggest headwinds. Watch this week's new home data and any policy signals from the administration. Video tags, YouTube optimized. Hashtag real estate news, hashtag housing market, hashtag mortgage rates, hashtag REITs, hashtag home sales, hashtag commercial real estate, hashtag data centers, hashtag PropTech, hashtag housing affordability, hashtag NAR report, hashtag February 2026, hashtag real estate investing, hashtag home